Bruce, CJ, thanks for sending me your video, sir. Hey, I wanted to kind of show you some stuff here of your first one, and then obviously the one you just sent me. I wouldn't mind seeing you send in like a 6-iron. I want to see kind of your impact with an iron as opposed to a driver, and I'll show you that from the other view. But as you can see, now the camera angle is just slightly off, and you can see that that right there is a little bit underneath from what we want. But even though the camera angle on this one is slightly shooting this way, it's going to make the club appear to be a little bit more inside, but it would not be that much inside. So you can see where this club head is here, that's quite a bit more inside than where you were. So in this case, you know, both good positions. I like how the left arm on the new one is a little bit higher, which is good. If we get that club head a little bit more going back, a little bit more on the outside on this line, I think we can get it just a little bit more on plane there. It's just fractionally across the line. On the way down, what you're noticing, you're going to see when the club was a little bit more across the line, it actually came down, and we don't have the frame right in between here and there, but the club was a lot more to the inside, and you can tell that just by one, looking at where the club head is there, and there, kind of exiting through your head, whereas over here the club head is exiting a lot more left. So you can kind of connect the dots and see that. So what I'm going to say to you is, one, great job, okay? It's working really well. You know, we still want to kind of get you into your left side a little bit better, and by that, let's see if we can pull up your original. If you had an original face on. All right, here we go. So the main things you're going to see here, plus you got that, you know, well, I won't even say it. So, all right, there's something in your equipment there. But now look at this here. You're going to see the little bit of that slide, and it's not much, okay? But what I love how you're doing here is you're just changing your setup, and you're going to see this right from the start, how you're getting a little bit of tilt with that right hip. And that is making a huge, even though it's subtle, it's making a big change sort of with that right hip. Still sliding an ever bit, but still much, much better. And it's just kind of an eye thing, I should say. You know, if I look at this, you don't really look turned behind it at the one on the right. It's kind of a fake position. Here on the left, your knees are turning a little bit, which is great. Okay, we need to turn, especially as we get older. All right, we're not, you know, flexible enough. And then here you're going to see again that sort of that slide with that left knee. We're going to still work on posting that left knee. We need to work on that next. That's our big goal for this month, okay? Is I want you, if I drew a line here on your left hip, and I want you to send this with a video of us, like a 6-iron too, because what we're going to be working on is that triple stack position that we talk about, trying to get the ankle, the knee, and the hip all into alignment. What I mean by that, let's see here, let's get a face on. Okay, so if I drew this line right there, and it's going to be a little bit different with a driver as it would with an iron, but you can see how much Tiger's left hip, how much he's stacked into that position. That's what we're after. So you can see on your way down, you're back a little bit. That's why the left knee is buckling just a little bit. So you've got to really focus on straightening that left knee. Just from the top, just feel like you snap that left knee closed. What that's going to do, and what that's really going to help us out with, is from here, you're doing a much better job of staying in your angles. You're not standing up as much, but it'll help you clear better. So does that make sense? Send me, you know, get a hold of me on the blog, or you've got my cell phone, give me a call, and we'll talk. But again, the main thing I'm going to have you do is continue just to focus on the body motion. And as we've told you at the golf school, and as we've talked, the body motion is the key. It's getting that right hip to turn, sort of the left knee to slide a little bit on the transition, and then snap that knee shut so you can get into that impact position. With the driver, you can get a little bit, you know, away with it, hanging back on it a little bit more. Let me just kind of show you some driver swings of guys potentially. So here's Rory. So you're going to see how he's back on it a little bit more. So, and that's again because of a sweeping motion. So when you look at that and I look at yours, you know, it's a similar position. So that's what's good for you. And that's why I was wanting to see kind of an iron. But if you look at Rory's sort of left knee, you're going to see how that's straightening there. That's the key. Okay. So the iron swing and the driver swing slightly different. Obviously, a driver swing, we're swinging more up, we're sweeping it. That's why Rory can just pound it 370 yards, you know, with his small frame. But he's clearing, he's rotating. The left knee is straightening. But your left knee, you're still going to see a little bit of that slide. So, but I wouldn't mind, like I said, send me one if you can in the next week or so with an iron, and we'll talk about that as well. See you, bud.